I love a bit of bass, man. I should just, every like drama moment on TikTok, I should just be like, or we can follow people ranting with a, what was it? We're all gonna dance. No, that's for another day. Da, 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 da. I love the old American Rejects on bass. Right, that was an interesting side quest. I don't know if there was any latency on that. I'm sorry if there was. Probably sounded absolutely horrific. It sounded fine to me. Right, so we are reacting to deep dives because why the f not? I've heard on the grapevine that I like deep dives. Now, the person doing this deep dive is Turkey Tom. I love Turkey Tom on YouTube. He's one of the people I watch his content every time it drops. He does deep dives onto like TikTok, YouTube, degenerates and stuff like that. In this one, it says Cyraxx's horrifying history, and it says full documentary, and it's nearly 2 hours long. I'm going to attempt to get through as much of it as possible, and if I don't watch it all, then I'll come back and we'll watch it. We'll watch what we didn't watch the next day. Why the fuck can't I speak? But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. 1 second. Oh God. Right, okay, let's go.
Haha, joke, very fucking funny. Oh, we had to share blah blah, funny shit. This isn't a game, Marty. You're fucking with people's lives here, you sick fuck.
Some people get the short end of the stick when it comes to genetics, and not all of them deal with it gracefully. Sure, congenital issues can account for some shortcomings, but how many? When does someone cross the line, and despite their defects, when can they be held accountable for their actions? A case study of this gray area is Ohio's very own Cyraxx, often referred to as the
Duluth Angie's brother,
dollar store Chris Chan, or Asmongold's long-lost twin. Over the course of a decade, Cyraxx has gone from an aspiring musician to trying to stay out of jail for things like abusing his grandmother and sending some very unfortunate messages to people who definitely shouldn't have received them. So in today's video, I aim to answer the question, who the hell is Cyraxx?
Great question.
I don't know what that means. All right, go.
Like many other lolcows, Cyraxx didn't just come about in a vacuum. If anything, he is the closest we've ever come to a purebred lolcow. Born Patrick Smith on September 20th, 1990, Cyraxx claims he was born at just 26 weeks, weighing only 1 pound and 12 ounces, with only 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs, and with
Jesus Christ.
one blind, lazy eye. At least in part, this is because his mother, Connie Lobdell, was herself challenged to some extent. Cyraxx's grandmother, Sally, claimed she was fully disabled, although it's unclear what that means, while his father described her as someone with ADHD and another unnamed condition. He specified that it took him 3 years to teach her how to drive a car, which suggests some degree of intellectual limitation. Many speculate
he's good. By the way, when I fell off the bed last night and hurt myself, Merlin did not give a shit. If anything, he looked like he was put out. I don't think he even moved off the bed.
Suffers from fetal alcohol syndrome, though due to Connie's potentially impaired condition, there's hardly any way to hold her accountable for that. His father, on the other hand, is a very different story. In 1994, Rupel Mark Smith, the original legal name of Cyraxx Sr., was arrested. While accounts on this vary, with Cyraxx himself saying his father went to jail the day he was born, the records available put his arrest at when Cyraxx would have been 3 or 4 years old. On July 26, a 14-year-old girl was raped by an unknown man who chased her off a bike path for around 50 feet. According to a person who identified
Shit, this is moving quick.
as the unnamed victim, he'd already been stalking her prior to the assault, which meant it was premeditated and suggested
Guys, let's keep tapping in the chat and share your random emojis as well.
that he'd probably done something like this before. She gave a detailed description of her attacker and his blue 10-speed bike to the police, who prepared a composite sketch. When
That's what they said, Hope. The doctor said I should put either my mattress on the floor or a mattress on the floor next to me or pillows on the floor. I had a look at like safety rails, but they're so expensive, man.
Presented with photo lineups, the victim picked Rupel out of both of them. The sketch was then published in the...
So ridiculous. 1 second. Honestly, TikTok, this is not what you're saying. Give me a second, chat. Bloody app's being funny. Yes, tappity tap tap tap, always. Yeah, what really helps the chat, guys, if you want to share emojis randomly of how you're feeling as we're watching this horrific bloody video.
Local newspaper and ended up being seen by Rupel himself just 2 days after the attack. Fortunately, the intellectual acumen of the Smith lineage was already being exhibited, as Rupel decided to call the police himself and identify himself as extremely similar to the man depicted, only to say he wasn't responsible and had an alibi. Regardless, this was enough for the
Bullshit.
person taking his call to report him to their supervisor, leading an officer to be sent to where Rupel was residing. Upon arriving at the residence, the blue 10-speed bike was seen, an exact match for the one that was at the crime scene. Once the officer...
Jesus. How can you deny it? Sorry, I need to stop eating. I've eaten terrible. That's right.
Sir became more accusatory toward Rupel. His responses were incriminating. Apparently, while he didn't outright confess to the assault, he said something tantamount to an admission of kidnapping, dragging the victim across the road against her will. After that, Rupel asked for an attorney, but what he said at that point was enough for an arrest and trial, during which a jury...
So it's game over. Game over. This is the dad, isn't it? Tom moves way too quick.
Jury convicted him of kidnapping, sexual assault, and sexual abuse of a minor. He attempted to appeal his convictions, but ultimately failed and had to serve a total of 20 years in prison. This is...
I was just wondering whether that was actual court documents, which just B-roll.
relevant because it meant that, with Rupel out of the picture due to his arrest, and Connie being unfit to care for a child due to her disability,
RuPaul, the imagine throwing them in the mix.
someone else would have to raise Cyraxx. That someone ended up being his grandmother, Sally, who moved Patrick out of Alaska and into her humble home in Akron, Ohio. Oddly enough, Sally had been in a strangely similar situation to that of Rupel's, only on the receiving end, as we can learn from an article in a local Alaskan newspaper.
Holy shit.
Rupel's father, and Sally's first husband, is a man named William Bill Smith, born in 1941. According to public records, Sally was born in 1952, and Rupel was born in 1969, meaning she was 17 when she had him, and just 14 when she got...
Oh my god, yeehaw indeed. Sweet home Alabama shit here.
married to Bill, who was 25 years old, the exact same age Rupel had been when he committed his crime. What's worse is that...
F***ing hell. The whole family are wrong in this.
Rupel had older siblings, though records on how many are difficult to find. We know that at least one of them was also named Bill, who ended up simultaneously suffering from AIDS and cancer until he passed away in 2015. Just so you know, when I say Cyraxx is a purebred lolcow, I mean generations of extremely unfortunate circumstances have coalesced to bring him forth.
I don't think there's any pure breeding going on there, let's face it. More like interbreeding.
Via newspaper clippings of one of Sally's brother's obituary, we can determine her maiden name is Arnson, but when she took Cyraxx in to raise him, she was married to another man named Gordon Wilkins and took his last name, so she decided to rename Cyraxx
There's so many of these people out there.
accordingly, calling him by the name he went on to use for the entirety of his life.
This is Chance Finley Wilkins talking to Nicholas Beagler. What you fail to
He's obviously going to do some DIY with him. Holding up the hammer there.
realize, Nick, is that I made you.
From Patrick Smith to Chance Wilkins, from Alaska to Ohio, Cyraxx wasn't even 5 and was already undergoing some radical transformations. In his recollection, he had a very rough time at school, with people bullying him and giving him swirlies due to his appearance.
I was supposed to die the day that I was born. And when I was born with 1 kidney and 1.5 lungs. And, growing up through school, I did get picked on. I got bullied way more than most. I got judged. I got beat up every day. I was that kid that was an outcast in high school.
But, as we will learn in full detail, Chance isn't an entirely reliable narrator, since
That appeals come through chat if you're waiting to send your heart.
contrary to his claims, it seems he did indeed have friends during his school years. In an interview with Elspeth, a friend of Cyraxx's from high school, she...
Like, I hate to be that guy, but some people you just look at them and think, maybe. Do you know what I mean? Maybe there's something going on there, like, and
He said,
We met quite literally in high school. We had a mutual friend in common, and that's how we met.
According to Elspeth, Chance and his group of friends bonded over their interest in dancing, so much so that she herself is a trained
Dancing.
ballet dancer. She recalls an instance where they both performed a piece called The Dueling Dancers at the school's
Hey Mickey, I see you. How you doing?
talent show, but unfortunately there's no footage of this event. When they weren't at school, they usually met up and hung out at the house of their aforementioned friend, Billy Seiler. Billy was a short, legally
Absolutely insane. What? This is the weirdest, like, restriction ever that TikTok keep trying to put on me. Right? It's saying, feature continuous and monotonous actions, thank you very much, without clear objectives of sustaining engagement. What the hell is it? Additionally, this, what are they talking about? Are TikTok just making shit up as they go along nowadays? Are they genuinely just making shit up as they go along? How dare you? Monotonous engagement. Am I shit. Monotonously, I'm broken. Fact Freak's broken. They broke my head. The hell are they even talking about?
blind African-American student, and Cyraxx described him as a closer friend than the rest of the group. After all, Billy was the one who introduced him to Linkin Park, one of Cyraxx's favorite bands. Months before any of his followers investigated Cyraxx's story with
off, Kelsey. Is my beep working for when I swear? Fuck off. I tried it out. I did, but I don't know whether it's working. I thought it might be a good time to bring that in. Is it? Fuck you fuckhead. Dick foot. Penis leg. I don't know. I'm going to get a restriction now, but it's for something else. What's that, Zach?
Calm down.
Alright, mate, sorry. Sorry, pal. Sorry, mate.
Billy. Cyraxx spontaneously
It wasn't working then, oh no. Ha! Shit!
They brought it up, saying,
Unfortunately, when I was 16 to 17 years old, around that time period, I was actually by one of my best friends from high school. Now, at the time...
Oh, duck. Leave Zach out of this. Wow.
You've got no narrative,
didn't
basic
say
soundboard.
I forgot I had a soundboard. I mean, it's like literally sitting there on the desk, but I never used it. And I forget that I got so petty that Zach said my show was shit because I didn't have a soundboard. So I added Zach to the soundboard saying that.
You've got no narrative, basic soundboard.
We'll love it. We love a troll.
I didn't know that he was gay. I had actually met this kid. His name was Billy Seiler. We had gone to the same high school together. And me and him grew really, really close. We were super cool with each other.
This is quite a claim to make, especially to bring it up as lightly as Cyraxx did. This was enough to rouse suspicion, but as time went on, the situation only worsened. In another retelling, Cyraxx mentioned that his family spoke to the school about what Billy supposedly did to him, and the school responded by kicking.
This is wild, this is actually wild how much lore and story there is behind these people.
Cyraxx out so it wouldn't happen again.
They know what Billy did. That's why they removed me from that school, so it didn't happen to me again.
Though this isn't impossible, it sounds unlikely that the victim of such a circumstance would be the one getting kicked out of the school. Worse yet was the fact that Cyraxx originally claimed to
know the auto thing's supposed to fucking work. I don't think it's... I don't know if it fucking is. You shit. I don't know.
to have been 16 or 17 when this took place, but he only changed high schools after 2009, when he would have been 19, meaning the time frame
work then did it good.
doesn't really add up. This discrepancy was confirmed by Cyraxx himself, who later changed it and said that while Billy
Does it work with shit? How about piss?
was underage, he himself was not.
Cyraxx, how are you not so pissed though at that school?
I'm guessing it was a no on the piss front. Which is a weird statement if you've just scrolled into me live and that's the first thing you've heard.
Like, I think it's insane. You should
Oh, fuck.
have never been expelled.
We tried, and that's the thing. That's the thing. We tried to fight it, but
Remove that pin, Genie, before I get in trouble.
due to the fact that he was underage, and I was over
Oh my
it.
god, dude. I don't understand that. That's fucking bullshit.
People became suspicious, and since Cyraxx had already given this person's name out, they decided to look further into it. The information was enough to find Billy's face.
Well, there's something on the soundboard that seems quite fitting for this.
I'm panicking.
Don't panic.
No, I am, because I'm going to lose my job.
But was you panicking when you...
I also just have random audio of Elphaba crying.
I'm fine. Hi guys, yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm chilling.
We've got Lucifer Angie can absolutely suck a fart straight from my sweaty arse cheeks. I forgot that was on the soundboard. It's because a troll account put up a clip of me saying that about Delusive. It was like, he's horrible the way he speaks to women, so I added it to my soundboard. Delusive Angie can absolutely suck a fart straight from my sweaty arse cheeks. What do we have?
Ooh, you're hard, showing off.
That's what she said.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good mix of sounds. I forgot about that completely. Oh no. Oh,
Facebook and contact him, informing him of what Cyraxx claimed happened during high school. Once contact was established, what Cyraxx allegedly did
that's a hot day, alright.
to Billy became a matter of public knowledge.
You know, so we were up in my room, you know, it was late at night, probably 12, 1 o'clock on a weekday. And when it gets hot, you know, guys tend to take off their shirts and everything. I was...
Oh god. Did they? I don't. Should I? No.
Either on my belly on the floor, or I think I was searching for something, and the next thing I know is and at this point, I had never given any type of consent whatsoever.
Christ.
This all but confirmed in the eyes of many that at the ripe age of either 18 or 19 years old, Cyraxx had assaulted a disabled minor. What a great way to start
Jesus Christ.
the story. We have little to no information on what else Chance was up to during the 2000s, but we do know what his family was.
Guys, if you're enjoying the live and you're not following, what the hell are you doing? Get following. Or you're out of it.
Up to. His mother, Connie, remarried in 2002 and was living with a man named Michael. But just a few years later, in 2007, she tragically passed away while using a wood stove that didn't have proper piping, and because of this, it resulted in a house fire. Perhaps adding to the tragedy was the fact that she passed away on Cyraxx's
Why did they do this? Why?
17th birthday. A little over a year later, the house Sally was living in with Chance was broken into, though there's no way to know if the perpetrator was ever found. In late 2009 to early 2010, Cyraxx created his first ever YouTube channel, but it was nothing.
Is this Cyraxx guy? Is he still on TikTok or wherever he posts content?
Nothing to write home about besides a few AMVs he made with freeware, and definitely stole from other people's content while doing so. The years of 2010 and 2011 were mostly uneventful, though Cyraxx made a few Facebook posts that contributed to the
Oh my god. This is so irritating. Guys, I'm going to have to restart my live thanks to that weird restriction, right? I'll be back in 1 second. I'll be back in 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second, chat, and I'll be right back.